Well,
Joanne
we got
online.
about 5 minutes before she calls in.
Welcome back to American Warrior Radio, right here on AM 1060 WMEL. And folks, like I said earlier, we are online worldwide at 1060WMEL.com. And I know we've got listeners everywhere. We have got to mention this just one more time, because you still have time. And I know they'll be doing this again, but McDonald's has a special treat for everybody today, Glenn.
Yeah, that's the McDonald's in the public shopping center on A1A, and McDonald's in front of Walmart down on O'Galley Causeway.
And you're going to be able to meet and greet the local police department. I don't know if the chiefs are going to be there or some of the officers, but it's just a way that McDonald's, you come in, you get a free cup of coffee. Free. And you get to chat up with your local law enforcement officers. And I think that's an important outreach, and McDonald's is behind it. They've got so many new things and exciting openings coming out this year on 2016 with McDonald's. Just stay tuned and we'll keep you abreast of it. But Coffee with a Cop today, you still have time. Get over there. Now, this time of the month, every second Saturday, we have this wonderful feature that AVET Project's Director of Counseling, Joanne Ivins, likes to call Journey of the Spirit. Go ahead and cue the music, Vince.
Love it.
Oh, I love that music. Doesn't that just set the mood, Glenn?
Absolutely. We were here doing sort of a chilled out dance to it.
And you'll catch that on YouTube, because we upload all these episodes onto our social media platforms. Oh, Joanne, you'll get to see it too. Hi, Joanne. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. I know that you've just had a little surgery, and we'll talk about that later, but you're okay to join us, because I know you're out in Oregon right now, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Are you snowed in out there? Are you snowed in?
Oh, no. Nice. It's just great. You know, winter, everywhere. That's how it goes.
Yeah, well, I know that you are a trooper, and even though you're suffering with some post-surgical pain and what have you, we really appreciate you, because the audience is always looking forward to hearing from you in your Journey of the Spirit segment. Let's just jump into it. It's the new year. What can you share with us and our audience today? Because I'm as eager to listen as everybody else.
Me too.
You know, the New Year, I was looking up stuff about New Year's one time, and it's all, actually they used to do it to take the seasons when they planted things and stuff like that. So that was basically what it was, plant things. And now it's like new ideas or changes. Now we have another year when you just start doing things right, you know, that kind of stuff. But so I was wondering, just give you guys a couple of goals for this year. And one of them was to free your heart from hatred, because it seems to be so much hatred out there right now, everywhere, you know.
Well, that sounds easy enough, but how do we do it? How does one free his or her heart from hatred?
You have to choose peace, because people can make you mad. I've always told kids when I work with them, no one makes you mad, you decide to be mad, you know, or whatever. And when you start looking at the beautiful things in life, like when there's things going on, I tell you, the things I look at the most is little babies. Their smiles, their beautiful aura around them, everything about them is beautiful.
Yeah.
So, you know, and to look at other things, not just the bad things. People concentrate on the bad, and they just focus on the bad, and they don't think about it. Think about all the, you know, one thing that I do is watch America's Funniest Videos. If there's really bad things on, that can change your mood instantly. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea. Yeah, just put you in a different frame of mind.
It does. It's just that we believe it or not, everybody thinks that everybody's making me this way. I mean, I don't want to be this way, but how can I not be? But we are the ones that control, our mind controls our body. We do it. No one else does it. We do it. So we thought what we can do to make ourselves happier. And there's so many things that, of course, you know me, and nature. The first thing is to go out in this beautiful nature. And there's so many things going on, but you have to stop and think a minute. What are the beautiful things that are going on? The press and everything only dwell on this thing happening, and then you feel like it's everywhere, you know, this kind of thing.
Well, it sounds...
When the Twin Towers came down,
Yeah.
little children would watch that over and over and over. They thought it was another plane and another plane and another plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watch it so many times.
Well, if I can interject, that's that. I see your point, and that is in the news business, whether it's whatever type of media, they always say if it bleeds, it leads. In other words, they're looking for that sensational ugliness and all that stuff. Because what do people do when they see a traffic accident? Everybody slows down and rubbernecks.
Yeah, you got to go look at it and see it and everything. I don't. When I see something like that, I just pray for the people that are involved that they'll be okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Help them. You know, that type of thing. And the other thing is to free your mind from worries and everything. Oh, yeah, how can we do that? But, you know, if we only concentrate on just worry, that's all it is worry. You have to start thinking. Of course, I have always lived my life that everything will be better, that nothing stays the same. And if you can understand that in 3 months it won't be this, whatever it is, to look forward to it being different or being, something happening to change it or you changing it how you think. Because we can't live in this always bad. I don't know if you guys know, but when you get around some people that are just, they're negative. I don't. You can say things to them forever, and they're not going to change how they feel because they're negative. You know. You know when you say to somebody, "Have a good day," and they get mad.
Yeah.
Ever had somebody do that?
Oh yeah.
That kind of stuff. And one of the other things is to live simply. I'm kind of one of those people that don't like to watch the Kardashians where they have all this money and they just buy purses and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
To be helping other people with whatever you have. It would be so beautiful to just give what you have. And that's one of my next ones, to give more and expect less. Because if we're like, we live in a circle of giving and receiving, but we have to learn to start giving more. Some people don't know how to do that anymore. They know how to take,
Unfortunately, we've got some glaring examples of that with some recent beneficiaries from recipients of AVET Project's Good Faith. But yeah, there are out there.
All the time.
Mm-hmm. So.
Now, this is my little thing here. One thing I want you to think about life is like a book, because that's how I live my life in chapters. This chapter's going to be over pretty soon. It's going to be something else. I don't know what, but it's got to be better. And so sometimes the chapters, if you're reading a book, sometimes they're sad pages, sometimes happy, and sometimes exciting. But if you never turn the page, you will never know what the next chapter holds. So that's how you have to think about your life.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah,
I like
cool.
this very much.
You have to be out there experiencing. You know what I mean? You can't just sit home, I don't want to do it, and I don't want to be a part of it, and I don't want to whatever. I think, Darren, you were talking about one of the vets, one of the boys wanting to help more. Here he has his leg, lost his leg and everything. All I can think of is how he can help.
Yes.
The one that went on the cruise. And
Right.
I'm thinking, yes, that's the attitude. How can I help someone else? You know?
Well, let's refocus for a minute on your analogy of life is like a book, because a book, what does it have? It has a cover. You have a beginning, the middle, and the end, but in between you have all these various chapters. So if somebody's stuck on page 22 of their life and maybe the second chapter, all they have to know is to keep moving forward, keep a positive attitude, live simply, and keep turning the pages into the next day, right?
Right, that's it. Because I always think about what's next. A lot of people can't go there. They just live in this day, and it's never going to change, it's never going to be good, and it's never all that kind of stuff. But if you can live with, there's more to life. It's always going, and like, I'll give you mine. Last night was my chapter in I'm an idiot when I have to do anything electronics. Then my little pain pump quit working and woke me up. And I thought, oh no, how do I work this thing? I just figured it out, but it's kind of like, what? So, there's so many things that we don't know how to do, that we're not good at or whatever, but that doesn't define everything about us. It's just one little thing there. We need to find the things that we really enjoy, the things that make us happy. And, a lot of people don't even think about what makes me happy. They're always thinking about this makes me sad. I could ask you guys really quick, too, when we're talking about books.
Yes.
When you were a child, do you remember ever reading a book that was your favorite book?
Yeah, I liked Robinson Crusoe. How about you, Glenn?
Too long ago, I can't remember.
Oh, come on, Glenn. Well, mine was Agatha Christie. I don't know if you guys have ever
Oh,
read that.
yes, of course. Agatha Christie and her
And from
mysteries.
that time on, my favorite thing is mysteries. From a little kid, that's what you love. But that's what you have to instill in children. I watch children, and they're searching for an opening. How can I change my life? You know, how can I do something that's different? And you can help them with so many different things. But
And while we're talking about
involved with kids.
while we're talking about that, I just have to interject again here. AVET Project, rather than a brochure that explains our programs and benefits and services, we put it on a bookmark. You can flip it from side to side, kind of describes the stuff, but it encourages people, number one, to keep it rather than throw it away, but also it has some purpose. You can use it to hold your spot in a book. And I have to throw this in. Every Christmas season, and even during the summer when we have Christmas in July for the military kids around here, we have a collection of books. And ordinarily, in years past, the children have picked through the books pretty well. There have been a lot of books that have been gone out and helped the little kiddies, and they've enjoyed it, whether they're picture books, coloring books, whatever. This year, strangely, we have a lot of books left over, and it's just odd, but we do. So I'm not sure if that's because this whole computer age and the Kindles and all this stuff is taking over even in the younger children's ages, but it's there's something to be said for actually having a physical book in their hand. And for everybody that's out there listening, I hope you just heard what Joanne said about paralleling a book with our life story, and the fact that once you start, you're in it till the end, and you may as well keep going through the chapters and keep a positive mental attitude and live simply. I like that as well.
Yeah.
I had to interrupt there.
Sometimes you'll look back on your books, your life, and you're like, wow, I survived that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Something exciting is, I was one that lived through that. You know, and so many things that we do go through that we think are not important or nobody's going to care, but the only one that needs to care is us. Because we control everything about our emotions and everything. You know, we need to be the ones that go, I'm impressed with myself. I did good there.
And that's okay. You can give yourself some praise. Sometimes it's the only place you're going to get praise is through yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you have to, what we like to do with our vet family when we have them is to show them how much we care about them. You know, how much we appreciate everything they've done. Because sometimes they think, oh, nobody cares. You know what I mean? But that's not true. There's so many people that care. And we try to instill that in them anyway. I was going to give you, I don't know how much time I got, so you guys keep me in line.
You got plenty of time. Just keep rolling. This is Joanne Ivins, AVET Project's Director of Counseling, with her Journey of the Spirit segment on American Warrior Radio. Go ahead, Joanne.
So I was talking about, one time about coloring. Remember the ones that I made them color in a little
Yes,
book?
yep.
So I want to stress that.
That was at a PRNR retreat. Yeah, one of the PRNR retreats, yes.
And so I've been watching more and more kids and people, and that's how they do a lot of their stress, is actually coloring or just drawing or whatever. And they have a new thing out for adults, which is really cool. And it's little tiny books, and they're called mindfulness coloring books. And it's little tiny areas to color with pencil, but it makes a person focus. It makes them not think about all the bad things because it's bringing beauty into this beautiful page. I'm going to explain it. You know, and they did it. They're coloring this, and stuff like that is creating. But sometimes we think our lives are dull, we don't have anything in it, there's nothing worth looking at, you know, this kind of stuff. So we have to create some beauty in our lives. But anyway, they can see those, I see them everywhere now. They just started out when I started thinking about the people coloring and their coloring books and stuff. And now here I go to the weird stuff. You guys ready for the weird stuff?
Well, I don't know. I'm still stuck on mindfulness coloring books. Where did you uncover that?
Where do you find those?
They have them everywhere now. In Barnes & Noble, anywhere has them.
And are they subject specific? What is it? I mean, can you go in there and say if somebody's dealing...
They call it the Mindfulness Coloring Book, and it's more anti-stress art therapy
Ooh.
for busy people.
I'm all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
And the girl's name is Emma Farron that created this. But it's really neat. You guys ever go in there and see that, you know, it helps distract the mind. And now I'm just going to tell you a weird thing because I'm kind of weird when it comes to certain things.
Oh, bring it on. We can handle it.
You can handle it? Okay. So, one time I had this girl come to me. She said, my mother is so negative. No matter what I do, she's just so negative. I don't know what to do about it. She's always grumpy and mad. And so I told her, I said, this is what you need to do. You need to, in her room, surround her in white light. Surround her whole room in white light and ask the angels to come and give her pink light, which is healing and love. in her room. And the next day she called me and she said, oh my God, I don't know what happened. My mother came out there smiling and talking. And because some people have no feeling of being loved. You know what I mean? And we have all this love in the universe, the energy of everything. We're surrounded by love, by God. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about God or whatever you believe in, but it's out there. And we can understand and bring it into our lives because it's the one thing that does really help us. Then we have all these beautiful colored flowers everywhere. Amazing colored flowers.
I think seeing flowers, whether it's at a doctor's office or whether you take them home to your wife, it always brings a smile to people's faces. I mean, it's just the natural beauty of it. And you, as a Native American, have a special appreciation for everything that the earth offers us to enhance our lives, right? I mean, isn't that a lot of where this comes from? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, because, you know, I do have Facebook, but I'm not like everybody else. I only go on there to see the animals. You guys ever go on there? Because they put so many things about cats and dogs and this and that, whatever. But they're so beautiful. They're an expression of life, you know? And it's you can go on, most people go on there because a lot of people go on there, well, I'm getting up today and I don't feel good and I'm going to lay down, and, you know. Who really cares about that kind of stuff, you know? Put something on there that's beautiful and so you can share. And that's what life is sharing. Having people that care about you and bring beautiful colors into your life and love and understanding. And I know, I think about you, Darren, so much about all the things that you do. You just work and work and work and always trying to help somebody. Always. Everything you do is trying to help.
I know.
Others.
I have problems. it's a problem for me.
That's why he loves your episodes.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I have, somebody take care of you. Kind of,
Yes, but in our business, I mean, Glenn's been doing this career after career now. I've been involved in it. Joanne, you've been our director of counseling for so long. Kim works tirelessly at helping vets. So we're all in this together. And the thing of it is, the common denominator is there's this overwhelming need. These people that are facing problems that we all know they can overcome and get past. That's why to have concrete examples like what you just mentioned, I'm really liking this, about a book. Life is a book. Wait till the next chapter. And actually kind of visualize that. Is that a good idea? Is that how people should try and manage their...
You know, some of the things that they can do is write their book. Because believe it or not, more and more people are starting to write down experiences that they've had because they're so unusual. But they also help them to look back and go, oh, I went through that and I survived, or whatever. To be able to, not to go publish it or whatever, they could if they wanted to, but I'm just saying, when you look at things that you've written down, sometimes you'll go back and think, did I write that? You know, it's amazing what your mind will do when it's given the ability to create. And so, if people can just take little notes. Do you guys ever do that? We have little notes about
I do.
mindfulness, you know. Look at and go, oh yeah, I remember to do that kind of thing.
Yep. I like that because you can refer back to it and see that you accomplished something or that you overcame a situation and kind of build some confidence that you can do even more. And the neat thing is that you can share this with somebody else. Hey, I was there. I faced that demon and I overcame it, right?
Yes, so much, yes. And we need to be able to talk to people and be open enough for them to talk to us, you know, and come to us. And it's amazing when you go out into the world. Of course, you're out there all the time with people that need help. But we have people that are not in the service that need help. You know, people that are homeless.
Of course.
Right. All this kind of thing. And you think, how can we help them in any way? You know, that type of thing. So I don't know how much time I have. So I want
Keep going.
I want you guys to do. So I want you guys to draw a little brain. You don't have to do it now, but you can do it later.
No, I want to draw now. I have my pen.
Brain.
I have my pen.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a brain. I need a bigger piece of paper. I've got a large brain.
I know.
He got a large ego.
Okay, so I'm drawing a brain. Everybody out there in American Warrior Radio Land, pick up your pen and paper and let's draw a brain. Okay, come on, I got it.
Okay. On one side of it, there's a little.
Mine's like 5 times larger than Glenn's, by the way.
Oh, keep going.
Okay, go on, Joanne.
So a little stem coming in from one side, just say the left side, doesn't matter where it is. And then another little stem on the other side.
Okay.
Okay? And then I want you to think about this. is, remember I told you a long time ago that our subconscious mind is like the computer that keeps everything? It keeps everything in there. And so when you're thinking something that's bad or something that makes you sad or something, anything like that, I want you to think of it as coming out of the brain, that one stem, and leaving your brain.
Okay.
Leaving it, not putting it in there.
Okay, leaving the brain.
And
Bad
I feel
leaving.
That person, but I'm not going to keep that in. I'm taking it out of there.
Gotcha.
I like to do this.
Okay.
I'm not going to put it in. I'm taking it out of there. And then all the things that bring joy and happiness, make you feel good, is going in the other little stem that's going into the brain. It's going to stay there.
I like that one better. Well, they're both equally good, though. We need to get rid of the bad and accept the good.
Well, you have to do both.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Yeah.
you hold on to the negative, so you're getting rid of it. You're letting in the good part and you're keeping it. So that stimulates the brain. We have to stimulate our brain and everything.
Okay, so I've drawn a picture of my brain. I have one stem of bad stuff, and I've got another stem of good stuff, and they're both equally important.
Yes.
Okay.
But you got to remember that the bad stuff, you're letting it go out of your brain. The bad stuff, you're not going to keep it.
Gotcha.
The good stuff is going to stay in there. When you're thinking good thoughts, it's going to stay in that brain.
Ah. Yes, I like
When you're
that.
thinking the negative stuff, like, oh, I don't like that person, or I hate that, I don't want to do that, that's not going to stay in your brain. It's going to go, whoop, it won't go in your brain.
Okay, so let me throw a wrench in the works here real quick. AVET Projects EEB are empowerment equipment boxes that they're care packages, as you know, Joanne, that we ship to forward deployed troops. We instruct them and we provide materials for them to be able to journal, like you were talking about, to write their experiences over there for several reasons. You know, posterity's sake, obviously, to say they were there and did this and saw that, but also if something traumatic happens, they can note a time in space that they experienced, who was around, and what happened, and all that stuff. That isn't really it could be a bad experience, but it's kind of in between. It's not necessarily good, it's not necessarily bad.
That's writing their book.
Okay.
That's writing their book about their life. And they need to put that in there. You know?
So it's not necessarily good, it's not necessarily bad, it's just something that happened. You right?
No, it's just something that happened in their life that they're going to have to deal with or whatever. They're going to look back later and go, oh, yes, I did go through that. You know? But I'm just talking about feelings and stuff when the people are out there and you see so many people get angry or mad.
Oh yeah.
Selfish or, sometimes you're somewhere you think, oh my gosh, could they be a little bit nicer? People,
Oh sure.
rude or whatever. Those things are ones going, nope, I'm not going to put that in my brain. I'm going to put in, how can I help this person? How can I be nice? What can I do to change this? That kind of stuff.
Right. Okay. Well,
So you're still writing your book because you'll never forget it. Whatever's happened in your lifetime, you will never forget it. But
And-
you can put it in a different perspective, but it won't affect your body.
and that's something we always appreciate from you, Joanne, with your Journey of the Spirit segment here on American Warrior Radio, is perspective and different perspective, kind of a holistic perspective. And we thank you so much for joining us with your segment again this month. And we'll see you next month, but we've got to close out with something
I
that's...
love you guys.
Love you too. Happy New Year.
Thanks so much.
Glenn, we never leave the program without this.
Okay, if you're a veteran experiencing crisis, and God forbid, thinking about suicide, you need to get a hold of the Veterans Crisis Line. So write this down, 1-800-273-8255. And for veterans, press 1. Or for friends of veterans or family of veterans that you note are experiencing crisis and don't seem to be in total control of what's going on and are unhappy and those kind of things.
And it is confidential help.
It is, yes, absolutely confidential. 1-800-273-8255. Press 1 for veterans help. And as always, don't forget, thank a vet.